Looking at the story of how these guys were assembled, it looks like, man, you are not of that descendant of Abraham. You guys came modern day Russia, Ukraine, Germany, and then there was some choices you had to make, and then now you're controlling the whole world.
I do believe that you know about the World Economic Forum?
Yes.
Okay. I do believe that there's a demonic government controlling all nations.
Oh, yes.
You know, whether they're Ashkenazi Jews, whether they come from Rothschild, whether they come from whether they are part of the the cabal in America or wherever they do.
Deep state.
The deep state. And then, we have Klaus Schwab, them and their like. But I do believe that there is a governmental entity in every nation. And if you listen to somebody like Klaus Schwab, he actually said that they have their young globalists that they've trained that have been put in the government in all nations. In fact, I haven't looked at the current government in Nigeria, but the previous government in Nigeria, actually, the vice president was a part of the World Economic Forum, the finance minister, the oil minister, something. In most countries, and people don't know that when they are voting people in or whatever they call voting, because I don't think that voting in any nation, it really is voting. But,
you feel it's just something done to...
Yeah, it's something done to get the people feel that they have some kind of choice. While we're busy, boxing each other because of our political views, most of the politicians, if you go in America right now, Bill Clinton was a Democrat, George Bush was a Republican, but they are just as tight. I'm like, we were practically killing ourselves trying to support one or the other. And now they're hanging around and, doing their thing. So I believe politics is just to make us feel like we have a choice. They're usually... in elections in almost all nations are rigged. That can go deep when you talk about like Dominion and what they did and stuff like that. That we can go in before I get sued. So so elections are kind of rigged. So leadership in most nations are actually demonic. Leadership in most nations are not godly. And because of that, we cannot see the government of humans as the government of God. If you go through the book of Kings, most of the kings in Israel were demonic, just like our leaders today.
Yes.
They led their people into captivity. They led their people into war. They led their people into God's judgment, just like today.
How do you balance this thought process with the fact that